my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to show you how I create playlists for my yoga classes. If you didn't know, I teach yoga at Alo Yoga here in Los Angeles. And another fun fact about me is that before I started doing what I'm doing now, which is teaching yoga and blogging and creating content online, I was a musician, an actress. I grew up in a musical household. Both my parents are musicians, and I actually moved to LA when I was 19 to pursue my acting and music career. I sang and played guitar and piano, and yeah, so music is a really big part of my life. And even though I'm not actively pursuing music now, I love that I get to incorporate my love of music into my yoga classes. And I do that through creating really thought out, curated playlists. Having a really on point playlist can completely change the vibe of your yoga class. It just sets the tone for the whole class, as well as gives you a really easy to follow outline if you're sequencing intuitively like I do. In another video that I have called Tips for New Teachers, I talk about how I use playlists to help me sequence my classes intuitively. So I generally come into my classes with an idea or a theme, but I sequence everything as I go. I sequence it intuitively based on the energy of the room and the students in the space and how I'm feeling and how they're feeling. And having a playlist that I've created to kind of go with the flow of my class really helps me stay on track and know where I'm at in my sequence, because I know that when this really pumped up, energizing song comes on, I know that it's time to really start to build the class. And then when the music starts to slow down and get chill, I know it's time to start cooling my students down. And then I have a song in there that lets me know, okay, it's time to start setting up for Shavasana. And then the Shavasana song comes on, and I know that it's the end of class. And it just helps me stay on time with my classes. And also, like I said, having good music just can change the entire energy of the class. There's nothing worse than going to a yoga class and you walk in and the first song that comes on is like, you're like, whoa, okay, this is like really aggressive. I kind of want to ease into this practice. So yeah, I'm all about using music to enhance your yogi's experience and also to help support you in sequencing. So without further ado, I'm gonna walk you through how I create a playlist. I'm due to make a new one, and I thought that this would be a great opportunity to show you how I do that. Alrighty then. So I use Spotify for all my playlists, and I'm just gonna create a new playlist now. What should we call it? Call it Vibey with some stars emojis. Okay, there we go. Okay, so the first thing that I do is I decide how long the playlist is going to be. So for me, my classes are 60 minutes. So I know that I need some time to warm up, cool down at the end, obviously Shavasana, and then the middle part will be music that kind of builds up to a peak pose, or, you know, the peak of the sequence where you're hitting these really advanced postures or really deep postures, and then everything will start to slow down. The way that I build my playlists is I start really chill, right? And then we end chill. So everything kind of comes up to a head in the center. So all the songs should be slowly building, starting off with super chill music. And then at the end, obviously we want super chill music for our cool down and our Shavasana. So I've been doing this for so long now that I have like tons of songs that I really love. But in addition to finding music that really supports the vibe of the class that you're going for, also like pick songs that you like listening to. It's gonna put you in a good mood. It's gonna, you know, get your energy and your vibes right so that you can really show up the best that you can for your students. So like I said, I've been doing this for so long that I have tons and tons and tons of songs in here that I love to listen to and that I know I really love using. But I'm going to go in here and see about, so on Spotify, they have public playlists like chill tracks or chill mood or dreamy vibes, and take some time to go through public playlists like that and see if you can find songs that you really like or that resonate with you. I like to sometimes throw on a public playlist like that and flow to it, and literally when I'm like, oh yeah, I really like that song, I'll stop, add it to a little collection of songs, and then I can refer back to it when I'm creating my playlist. So don't be afraid to spend some time exploring new music as well. But let's just... So basically, first I'll explain what I'm doing. I start off by, if I want to add new music in, I start off just by kind of cruising playlists that are under the genre that I'm looking to add, unless I have a song that I'm like, oh, I want to add that to a playlist. Then I usually just start, but I start off with like a general vibe. So if I'm like, okay, tonight I want it to be really chill and vibey and a little bit slower paced, that's what I'm going for as I'm creating this playlist now. But if I was teaching a power yoga class, I would pick more upbeat music. So I'm on chill tracks underneath on Spotify. I'm just gonna kind of cruise through. I usually listen to the first few beats of a song, and then I'll click through the halfway point in the song, because that's usually where you'll be able to hear if the music picks up or it's too upbeat. So that's kind of what I do. I'm liking this song. So this song is a little bit more upbeat, but I really love it. So I'm gonna add it to my playlist, but that's gonna be more of like a middle of the class song. So I'm gonna add that to our playlist, but we'll start building around that. So I'm gonna go through and pick a few more songs to add to the playlist so that I can show you what I mean by having the music build and finding that peak pose music, and then finding songs that really allow us to kind of bring down the energy in the class. So I'm gonna do that now, and then I'll check back in with you. Got some movement happening here with our playlist, and I just kind of wanted to show you what I have so far. I definitely have some more to do, but just to give you an idea of how things are starting out. So I found a warm-up song slash just an intro song for the class. So I like to take 3 to 5 minutes at the beginning of every class that I teach for my students to settle into their practice, to shift from doing to being, and take a few moments to tap into the breath. So I like my first song in my class to be super chill. I either have my students start in Shavasana or Child's Pose, and it's just time for them to take a pause before we start to move. So that first song for me is really important because it's really bringing my students into their practice. So the first song is this that I'm using. It's just very chill, very grounding. And that's how we're starting off the playlist. And then my peak song will be this. And just has a little bit more energy, a little more movement. This is kind of like everyone's sweating, they're working hard, they're almost cooling down, they're almost to the end of this sequence, and it's a really powerful, motivational, inspiring song. And I feel like it's just gonna be a really nice song to throw in there for the very top of the sequence. And then I have my very last song, which is about 7 minutes and 40 seconds long. That'll be for my 3 to 5 minute Shavasana and closing out our practice. And that is this song. And just, again, a super chill song. There's some sound bowls. It's a little bit yogic, but it's still a little alternative. It has a nice vibe to it. And this will be, like I said again, for them in their Shavasana and then pulling them out of Shavasana. Any closing rituals that we do at the end of our practice. And then that will those songs so far, and then I have a couple of other songs thrown in, which I really like this one. It's still a little chill, so this is a good song to add in for kind of the build of class. This song will be, you know, on its way towards my peak song. And then I have this song as well. That's same kind of vibe. It's a little bit more upbeat. And it kind of adds a nice build into that peak song again. So it's all about the vibe. We're just creating a vibe and an energy through all the music. You want to think about is if you were practicing, what would you want to listen to? What would really help you tap in to your inner power, your inner strength, and help you get present and feel really in touch with your body and your breath? And that's what I try to think about when I'm creating these playlists, is picking songs that are going to make people feel a certain way. Ultimately, the shapes and the poses in this practice are not the point. The point is how we feel when we're moving from pose to pose, how we embody, you know, the energy and power that we feel within. That's the point of the shapes and poses in the practice, is to get centered and get still. So I like to try to find music that just makes you feel a type of way, you know? So I have this song as well, and then I have this song that I've added. And this song to me feels like we're on our way to the peak of our practice, right? Like maybe a little bit of core work, we're building heat. You can feel the energy start to pick up in the song. Huge difference between this song and this song, right? You can feel the energetic difference. The first song is like, we're fluid, we're flowing, it's chill, it's soft, there's a softness. But there's still a power and an inspirational vibe behind this song. And then the other one is very upbeat, and I feel motivated to work and focus and sweat and push the boundaries. And that's what I look for in these songs that I'm adding to my playlist. So just, those are some pointers of things to look out for. So far between those 6 songs, I have 35 minutes. So I'm nearly halfway through my class. And once you have the skeleton of your opening and closing song and your peak song, then you just fill things in between. So I know before my peak song, I need music that is slowly building towards that peak song. So I'm gonna just go in now to some of my other playlists and find songs that I love to listen to and throw those in. This is a good song to start building up towards that peak song, so we'll do that. This song could be good too, right before the peak song or right after, because it's a nice upbeat song. This song is really nice too. This song has a nice, chill, calming vibe, and I feel like because there are words, it would be a nice song to put after our peak song. And then at some point I do like to switch over to music that doesn't have words. So I'm gonna kind of rearrange these. And we're at 46 minutes, so we're close to being done creating this playlist. I'm gonna add a few more songs for the cool down. I feel like this song is nice. Is a good cool down song. So we'll add this before our Shavasana song. These are nice and chill. We will just put these right before our Shavasana. I feel like I'm gonna kind of go through and pop through. So that's our opening song. We need a song between the opening song and this song to kind of tie it together. So it's a little too harsh of a jump. You can feel like you don't want it to feel harsh jumping song to song. You want to feel like it kind of flows together. And like I said earlier, the longer you do this, the easier it gets, and you'll start to have some songs in mind that you like to use that help you do that. Yeah, that's good. I know this other song that I like too. I'm not gonna use that, but that is a great song. a good throwback too, but we're not going to use that. Trying to think about, that's a good song as well. We need a little, nice little chill song. How are we going to do that? Let's see. What's something from Soul Rising? I love him. He's got great music. Let's see if we can find one of his songs. Yeah, that's actually nice. Okay, so it's the same song. That's it. Cool. So we're just gonna slot this in up here. I'm gonna let you hear how it flows into the next song. And then we'll move into this song for our second song, which starts nice and slow. It has a nice vibe to it. This nice little like cat-cows, nice little warm-up. And then we'll move into the next song, which is where we'll start to kind of build a little bit more heat. So it's still like nice and vibey, nice and chill. We're still slowly building. And then we start to build a little more. You can see the beat starts to pick up a little bit. There's a little more energy. And then even more so in the next song, right? It's even more energized. We're starting to build more heat, starting to move more. And all the songs leading up to the peak song of our playlist are slowly, gradually getting more energetic, and there's still slower, paced ones thrown in between, because we're not going to be running a race the whole time. We're going to be stopping here and there in child's pose and doing core work, but it should be this gradual build of energy in the music that you're using. And then this song is right before our peak song, so it's really energetic, right? We're really building a lot of heat in class, a lot of energy. And then this is our peak song. This is where we want to find a song that's really inspiring, that's going to motivate your yogis to stay in the posture, to find that edge, to keep flirting with that edge, and seeing how deep they can take their practice, and really allowing them to drop into the present moment and find that edge. And then we're cooling down. We're like, okay, we did the work, we made it, we're starting to cool down. This still is a little more upbeat. There still is a bit of energy to this song, because I think because someone's singing and we have a little bit more going on in the song. And it's a nice transition from your peak song. And then from there, we're even further starting to kind of drop the pace. And here's where I'm thinking like we're doing hip openers, back bends. So there's still a little bit of energy needed, right? We're not completely on our backs, chilling, ready for rest. We're finishing up our final postures that require energy and work. So I'm still finding music that has an element of chill and calmness, but also isn't totally sleepy. So then we start to find our sleepier songs, right? Like more restful, forward folds. And I like to do mostly songs without singing. That's just a personal preference, like words and voices. Generally, not all the time. Sometimes I'll throw in some Radiohead at the end because it's just super vibey. But for the most part, I like to try to keep it mostly instrumental. But speaking of Radiohead, let's just go ahead and add one, because we actually do need one more song. If your class is 60 minutes, don't make your playlist 60 minutes exactly. Sometimes you start the music a little before class, or sometimes you want to let music play a little after you finish your practice, so it's not like a hard stop. So I always like to add a little bit more than 60 minutes, but we'll just throw in this classic so that we have a little something. And then we'll start to cool down into the instrumental music. So we have that other one, and then we have this one. Super chill, right? Ready for bed, ready for sleepy Shavasana, ready to rest, ready for stillness. And then the final song is our Shavasana song, which, like I said at the beginning of making this playlist, I found a song that's 7, almost 8 minutes long. So Shavasana will be 3 to 5 minutes. I like to give a longer Shavasana, so I try to give at least 4 to 5 minutes. And then I give myself a little bit of time with music to pull them out of their Shavasana so that it's not silent and awkward. So I like to have a little bit longer Shavasana song, or I'll tack on an additional song at the end so that it's nice and vibey when I'm closing out our practice. And yeah, that's how I make my playlists. I hope that you enjoyed this video and I hope that it helps you. And most importantly, just try to have fun with this and really use your playlists to help you enhance your yogi's experience, right? I love the idea of using music to really help kind of fire up and ignite the other senses during the practice, right? Like you can use, Palo Santo or sage or essential oils and tap into smell. And as far as sight, I like to dim the lights in my class and put candles out. And I love the idea of using music, and you have like all the senses tapped in and turned on. And it just kind of makes it a really well-rounded experience, right? It's not just about them coming in and working their body. It's about them feeling all the feels when they come in and moving their body and, disconnecting from whatever's happening in their life for 60 minutes and tuning into their breath and feeling all the things. And I feel like you can really use music to help enhance that experience. So yeah, that's my spiel. Like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to leave me a comment below. And otherwise, I will see you in my next video. It's time for me to go and teach, put this playlist to good use. So I will see you in my next video. Bye.